Hey guys, this is Mike from B-Tech Reviews here, and today we find out if the Nintendo GameCube that I purchased from Goodwill is working. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I know a lot of you guys are curious to see if the Nintendo GameCube that I purchased is working. So the reason why I've taken pretty much about a week to make this video is because when I purchased the GameCube, I did not have a power supply for it. Now, I'm trying to go the cheap route as much as I can, just because, you know, I don't want to spend too much money investing into this console, being that if it doesn't work, you know, I can maybe return items that I don't need, right? So in this case, I purchased this AC adapter from Old School on Amazon.com. As you guys can see that, let me focus the camera there. Not too expensive. I believe it's under a $20 item here. Same thing with this remote. I did not spend much money on it. And of course, the GameCube itself came with the 3 games, so I'm eager to test out the 3 games here. But again, you guys saw in the original video that this thing was filthy. I cleaned it up as best as I could. It still has some remnants of, you know, whatever was dirty on the inside from the last video, but definitely a major improvement than from what you guys originally saw. Like you can see here that there's still a little bit of residue there in the controller ports that I really need to kind of look at again. But anyways, you know, again, I wanted to you know, make a video today and get this turned on for you. But first, I want to look at these items that I purchased from Amazon, and I'll give you guys links in the description below just so that you guys can check out as well. I want to make sure I'm not cutting any wires here. But basically, again, I bought this control on Amazon. It really wasn't super expensive. I believe this control and other controls from different colors cost about, you know, I believe they're only like $10. So I'm going to leave the affiliate link for you guys in the description below. I definitely don't want to cut the wire there, that's for sure. This is kind of a sharp knife, so I don't want to nick anything that I don't need to. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this popped open, and we'll get a feel for it. I'm not 100% sure if this is like any type of like analog stick to, and I don't know why it looks like there's already dust coming off of it. I don't know if that's just my desk or what. I don't know if there's any type of rumble features with this remote. It just says it's compatible with the Wii and the GameCube, and I'm pretty sure you can play this on the Switch as long as you have a converter. It comes in different languages, but again, $10, can't go wrong. Let's go ahead and feel this out really quick. Definitely looks like it, but of course it says Old School on it. So I can tell you probably won't have the rumble feature, but not something that's completely necessary. Kind of feels like the original, if I can be 100% honest with you, but again, you know, there is a little bit of cheapness to it. Like the triggers, for instance, do not feel as good as the originals do. I can't really compare. I'm not showing the GameCube controller that this came with just because I'm probably not going to use that. Maybe I will, we'll see. But it definitely feels a lot cheaper down here as far as the quality. So, but we're gonna use it. So, and again, let's go ahead and take a look at this adapter that I purchased as well. And I also ordered an AV cable, guys, by the way, because this came without an AV cable, a correct AV cable. It came with like you know, just kind of like a coax connector to it, which I'm not going to use. I would rather prefer using one of these. So again, Amazon, I'm going to post all the links for you guys just in case you guys need to replace parts for your console itself. Again, all of these parts are under $20, relatively cheap. I did not spend a lot of money on these parts, you know, all together with the GameCube and the controller and this, you know, it was probably still at or under $100. So I'm definitely proud that I can at least say that, hey, that, you know, we didn't spend that much money here. But let's go ahead and get this unboxed here. And here is the little power cord. It does come with like a little power brick, which again goes into the console. So let's get this connected, guys. Again, let's see. So again, you can see back here that it does just come with like a little bit of a power port here. You just plug it in like as so. Hoping it's the right connector, right? Hoping yeah, it's the right connector. Okay, here we go. I'm just struggling. It may be because I put the case in and, oh, you know what? Hold on. I might have to open this up because it's not it's not connecting all the way because I think I might have closed the shell on it incorrectly. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, so I removed the lid, guys, and I think the issue was that when I put the fan back, I guess the fan assembly actually has this portion of it connected to the little power brick itself. So I think that's what happened there. So I'm actually going to have to kind of get back in there and you know, unscrew it, maybe try to mount it correctly and get that back plate back in correctly also. Just because I remember removing the back plate in the last video, guys. Didn't expect this to turn to this. This was just supposed to be, hey, I'm going to plug this in and then we're going to go. That's it, right? But in this case, you know, we are going to have to go ahead and remove the fan assembly again, which again wasn't really my plan. Let's go ahead and remove those little connectors there, and let's go ahead and try to get this screwed out here. It wasn't easy the first time from what I remember, guys. It's just 2 screws, one here and one here. So again, let's see if we can kind of time lapse through this really quick. Okay, guys, so as you can see there, the little power cable, or whatever you want to call it, the power connector for the back is in the proper housing now. I guess I probably just didn't have it when I put this back the last time. I didn't have it mounted correctly, so we're gonna have to just go ahead and plug all the stuff back in. I do apologize for the extension because this is basically adding to the video. You guys really want to know if it works, but hey, you know, again, if you guys are buying and fixing up consoles like this, you know, you guys might run into the same issue. So definitely want to kind of put that out there, like, hey, it could happen to anybody. Let me just make sure that this is in right. And again, those 2 screws are mounted all the way. And again, because I probably screwed that in wrong the last time, that little thing was not there correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the lid back on. I'm gonna screw everything back together, guys, and then we'll go ahead and connect it, and we'll see if this bad boy turns on again. The seller from Goodwill said that it was a working console, right? So I want to make sure that that's the case, right? If not, or they said that it was not, that it was working but not tested. So there you go. That looks much better, guys. Much better. So again, I just need to get those screws back in on the bottom, and then we'll go from there, guys. So again, thank you for your patience. We're gonna go ahead and get this going. Okay, guys, moment of truth time. So as you can see here, I have the controller connected. I have the power source connected, which the little light did turn on the cable here. I connected the AV input into a little converter that I have running to HDMI. So let's go ahead and turn it on. I don't have a game in here just yet. I just want to see if it turns on here, guys. Ready? Oh snap, it turned on. Let's see. Oh yes! I'm super stoked again. Right now, that means that there's no game disc in there. I'm kind of nervous though, because again, you know, I haven't put a game in yet. I'm gonna probably go with one of the ones my cousin lent me here. So let's go ahead and do that really quick, guys. I'm one-handing this, so just a heads up here. Let's go ahead and open this up. It's a Pac-Man game. I'm not testing the games that they sent me, but I'm gonna test this one. So let's find out. And let's reset it. I do hear spinning. I do hear spinning. Let's see if that works. Let's see if it picks it up, guys. Heck yes. Super excited here, by the way, guys. So it says memory card. I forgot to insert the memory card. We're just going to go without the memory card for now. And again, I'm doing this handheld, guys. I'm going to continue without saving. This is so good. Alright, guys, you can see here that the game is working. And excuse me, I probably nudged my tripod here. I'm kind of just trying to check that out, but I'm gonna probably pop one of the games in that came with it. It doesn't look super clear. You know, it is GameCube. This was not made for like 1080p TVs, but you know, again, the system's working. Okay, I'm just gonna press start. This seems like a multiplayer game. I don't know what's going on here, but let's go ahead and pop in another game, guys. Alright, guys, the next game we're going to test out is Medal of Honor. This came with the actual Call console from Goodwill, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that in. Has a little bit of scratches, but nothing too crazy. It should work. Let's go ahead and pop this in. I love that classic GameCube sound, by the way, guys. It does make a little bit of a loud noise when it's reading the disc. It says an error occurred, turn off the Nintendo GameCube instructions booklet for further assistance. So this might be one of the games that doesn't work, guys. So this is interesting. Let me go ahead and turn it off really quick. And we're going to go to the next game here. So let's try the Narnia game now. At least we know that a good clean disc works, guys. Again, we're gonna try Narnia now. If that doesn't work, then we're gonna try Lego Batman 2 or Lego Star Wars. I'm sorry. Let's see if this one works. Let's see if this one works. Yeah, this one seems to be working. So we might have issues with that Medal of Honor game. This is the Narnia game, guys, which I didn't expect this one to work. That's kind of funny. But I'm kind of stoked that we are getting some sort of games. This does look kind of bad, by the way. I do have it set to 1080p, but this little converter thing that I bought, I might just connect it directly to the TV next time, but let's see how it goes. I'm not 100% sure. Because it's not super clear, but for what it is, it doesn't look bad. I just want to see if the game is playable. Press start to begin. I wonder if there's a load game. Okay, no save data present. You don't support load. Yes. We'll go to new game. We'll go to new game, guys. This is pretty cool. It says loading. Let's see if it loads the game. And I just am excited. I don't know if you guys are excited about me, but I'm throwing a thumbs up over here. It definitely doesn't look the best, guys. Like on an HD TV, I'm gonna tell you that much. Like the 360 looks so much better gameplay wise, but obviously even though the 360 is a part of that generation, it came with HDMI, and it just seemed like it was meant to play, you know, the higher game TVs. So I can tell you this looks pretty bad. Like, and it's not the GameCube; it's just the way the AV is set up and whatnot. So I might just reconnect it directly to the TV, that little AV cord, just to see how it looks differently. I guess we're gonna try that. But let's go ahead and try that really quick, guys. 1 second. I'm gonna stop the video here. Let's see. All right, so we are going back to the home screen here of my TV here. We're gonna just put it on the AV component over here, just to see how it looks, and we're gonna try. At least now that we know that Narnia works, we're gonna go ahead and take that game out, and we're gonna go ahead and put in Lego Star Wars 2, which was the original. Again, I'll hold that up for you guys. Again, some of these games had some scratches. This one doesn't look too bad. Let's go ahead and put that one in, and let's go ahead and turn it on from there. Nintendo GameCube. So, and again, sorry, you're going to see that little ring light in the reflection of the TV, guys. I have my ring light turned on. Honestly, I think this probably looks better connecting it directly to the TV than using one of those little converters. Although it still kind of looks grainy. But again, these games were meant for the older TVs, like the older style, maybe LCDs. But it seems to work, so I'm happy about that. So again, as you can see here, it's taking a little time to load. There we go. There was a little bit of stutteriness, but there you go, guys. But I'm very happy that this old school GameCube works. You know, again, the console is probably 20 years old already from the making of this film, or from the making of this video, and the fact that I, you know, had to kind of go through hoops to get it to work. But so far so good. And again, that little converter that I bought, it upscales it, right? So right now it's, you know, it's in 480 currently. But let me see if my TV actually can upscale this really quick. Let's see if it has an option to maybe upscale it. Let's see, picture settings. Dynamic low. No. Customize picture, advanced TV settings. So I can probably stretch the screen. There you go. From there. Right now it's on auto. But like if I wanted to stretch the screen just for GameCube, which I'm just gonna leave it on auto, I think, just because that's how the game was meant to be played. But anyways, guys, hope you guys like the little series on the GameCube. And I will get my capture card connected at some point, and I will play some of these games for you on the channel, or maybe I'll make a new channel. I don't know about that, but again, guys, the controller works, everything works, you know. So guys, Mike from VTech Review signing off. Again, thank you again for watching. Smash the like button, as always, subscribe, and again, thank you for watching.